YouTube, we are live on Twitch right now, streaming pugs every day, 2 to 7, non-stop. We'll take a break at 6 actually to play some Mortal Shell. But how does he do it? We've got to upload a new video every single day. It's probably coming out at the same time, 2 now, after processing each day. This time, though, it's going to be a sad one. Had a really good run today. Cheers to the water. Had my coffee already. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening to my Russians. We got a sad one today. We're taking a look at a bad performance at the request of Midnight Marauder here. Can we do a reverse demo review one time and see why a player performed so poorly instead of how they went off? I'm thinking about Electronic specifically on Navi. When they played Complexity yesterday, he was bottom frag and had no impact, it seemed. He's such a great player. I don't know how it happened. A very honest question, and you wonder why do we just celebrate and talk about all the good performances? We always say you learn more from a loss, so why don't we go ahead and take a look at them? I can actually say myself, I've never really looked through a YouTube a demo on someone's bad performance, apart from like one of my subs in a demo review. I've never looked at a pro player's bad performance. Actually, that's a lie. I did look at Taco's whole series once, where it was like IEM San Jose, one of the IEMs in California, where he had a terrible series, and I looked at Overpass to see how he played his spots, and I did learn a lot, and I actually learned like he got very unlucky a few times, and it wasn't as bad as it seemed. So we'll see if the same is true here for Electronic. Let's first take a look here at the stats for Electronic. He is not at a career all-time form at the moment. He kind of has spent less time here under the 1.15 rating mark than he has above it, but this is when Navi's winning, right? And it seems like these days are becoming more seldom as the days roll on. And here it looked like if I was a triangle analyst, I would probably start spiking here, but it looks like we're tipping back off. So is this a downtrend in perpetuity for Electronic? What's going on here? It is online now, and we know that Navi, after the before the pandemic really hit, had such a strong performance at Katowice. I actually had a video that was about to be made on Simple, but I guess since then it's only been downhill, so it's okay that it hasn't come out, I suppose. So let's go ahead and see. A couple other points here. We know Blame F is such a good counter stratter. It's a big part of his game plan, and Nuke is one of his fortes. So I wouldn't be surprised if simply like Navi got out demoed here, straight up outworked. I will say sometimes it feels like Navi look a little bit lazy, but Electronic, one of my favorite players. So why don't we just let the demo speak for itself, huh? We're here on Nuke. We're starting off on the CT side, and let's find out, what could have Electronic done? Like, what I'm going to look for in this demo, basically, is not, like, how much he lost duels, because that could be it, Maybe he's not deathmatching enough, like, straight up. Maybe he's just mentally in a bad spot because of the world situation. Could be just totally reasonable excuse, Maybe he's extremely burnt out from all the games online. I think these are all fair. Not necessarily an easy job just because it's supposed to be fun. Anybody who's played on a team knows that this game stops being fun once it becomes this serious. It's really about winning, and losing is not fun and doesn't feel good and can really take a toll on you if things start to spiral. The real irony is that the better you get, the less fun you have playing against worse players. Like, you can only kind of get enjoyment out of beating players who are better than you or as good as you. And those games are just stress the entire time. CSGO really is that beast that reels you in, but feels like it doesn't give you back much sometimes. But that's any competitive game, really. So there's a pistol round. Navi win. Electronic follows up just fine. I actually think that Electronic gets a few of his kills early on and then starts to taper off. Yesterday, we asked on YouTube about crosshairs, and best comment I read about gaps was just like, at a 0 gap, it's hard to trust where your bullets are going. But at like a -2 gap like this, you feel much more confident. For me, I find that a bigger gap and a bigger crosshair, I feel more confident spraying. And a smaller gap and a smaller crosshair, I feel more pressure to be precise, but a little bit more confident with the tapping. A little bit of ladder movement there from Electronic. And so far, it's all good. Also, yesterday, someone pointed out, I kind of talked through these first couple of rounds to just build some narratives or just set the stage for what I'm thinking about before the game really starts. And sometimes I miss some of the finer details. I don't know. Should I be talking more before we actually go in game? I want to kind of keep the video moving along, so started off with the stats, but just kind of jumped into it. Also, I feel like on this anti-eco round, there's only so much you can talk about, really. So this time it's a secret push here from Electronic, kind of first rifle round out the gate. So this is the primary way the CTs have decided to fight outside. It's really strong. The only problem is that it can be naded from safety. So people mollying the stairs and so on can elicit some really like rough reactions right here. So you have to decide what you want to do. Like Electronic could smoke that, let them know that he's here, but then, use that to his advantage, or come up incognito and try to go for a peek. But as we can see, like, he has to be very careful, because when you come up the stairs, every step you take, you open yourself up to like 5 angles. Silo, right red, left red, in front of mini, just out in the open. So it can kind of be hard shots to take. Ideally, when you're peeking in Counter-Strike, you want to come around an angle sideways, so you can peek one angle at a time. But if you come up a set of stairs, you can open up to so many at once. All right, so pressure coming towards him, and so far so good. This is good fundamental CS from Electronic. 2 choke points, Molotov 1. Pretty much what you should always do. Right? If they want to run through the Molotov, it costs them 60 health. Sometimes that is the best play for them to make. But most of the time, people are going to run into the open choke point, especially when the time is low. Molotovs gain in effectiveness the later in the round that you have them. In some circumstances. Sometimes you need a molly squeaky at the beginning of the round. Certainly not trying to say you shouldn't throw Molotovs early. Okay, ring around the bomb site, and all good. I mean, this round is won by Electronic, so yeah. Am I watching the right demo? So far, so good. And I only asked that because it looked like he's playing smart and hitting shots. So how does that fall off? This makes the demo a little bit more interesting. Another example of that is, like, say you're playing B on Dust 2, and you're playing with a teammate in the site. Your teammate smokes a tunnel, but you know they're splitting mid. You can molly the door, peek the window, or smoke the door, peek the window, but you always take out one choke point first. Limit your variables. So the job of the player who goes lower is actually quite easy in that respect. You have a pretty decent angle fighting the T's coming down, and you can, as long as you have a little bit of utility, hold yourself off. So Electronic unleashes his whole mag into Squeaky through the vent. Not peeking past the vent, because you can just lose a spam battle and feel really stupid. Well, there the spray's a bit off, and that could have actually been a costly kill. Upper's taken, but yeah, actually Simple just goes through the smoke. It's a play that they needed. Simple wasn't the hero they deserved, but he was definitely the one they needed. Oh, I actually vowed to only use ESCA refrag to watch demos, and I just got insider instated on my account again. I'm gonna know how to use refrag, I think, tomorrow for watching the demos. But just for these videos, it's okay. I didn't pre-upload it, so there's like a small processing time wait. Refrag is awesome, though. I recommend it, especially for skipping backwards, which is not something I feel comfortable doing while making a video. Okay. We always love to talk about, like, what are players' favorite angles? I've never seen someone hold it with just this door in vision, so I'm kind of curious how it works out. A good off angle is denoted by an angle that you hold where somebody who walks into it is not clearing you. So if somebody, for whatever reason, is standing in front of that door and they're like holding heaven, for example, you learn that when you're the player walking around into mini, that's where you naturally look as well. And that's what makes it a strong off angle. But so much patience. Looks like it's going to get electronic killed right now. Yeah, that's crazy from Blame. I mean, there's no way a demo won him that duel. Electronic was incredibly patient and actually came in just in time to help, but failed to get his first kill because his first bullet accuracy was not that great, which is something we do know is a strong asset for Electronic. But also, Blame just simply outplayed him. I'm shocked that Blame could stand right there. Maybe he did. Maybe he did know. Maybe he did know. Blame has incredible reads based on smokes. He really strongly believes in his anti-stratting. I have personal doubts as to how effective that can be because, I mean, he's a machine is the thing. If you guys haven't seen it, watch Blame's HLTV confirmed. That'll tell you a lot. Okay, so Electronic seems wise to this rotate back. Smoke goes down into mini, and he thinks he's heard footsteps, so he's aware that the wrap outside could come. Wow, they're making a lot of noise. Some decent damage off at first. And it looks like Complexity were trying to get Na'Vi to come off the rafters and downstairs. But instead they go for hut control, which is the correct play here for Na'Vi. So now Electronic can play for himself. His teammate's in hut, so he doesn't have to watch his back on hut. He has to be aware of mini, though. We'll see how this goes. Molotov's not going to do anything to him. Might scare him a bit. And he'll at least get one. I'm sure, we're watching that thinking, well, he could have waited. But certainly somebody's going to clear beneath him. Okay. So that's okay. That's actually not bad. I mean, they won that round too, no? No, they didn't. Okay. It's close. And Blame F puts his Nikes on, ties them tight, runs across the outside yard. No one from Na'Vi has any idea because they've just got pistols. And he gets the kill within like 15 seconds of the round. This outside smoke I love to use to push up. I don't usually go through it, but man, he's getting good information early. He seems always aware of the correct site. He's been there to help his teammates. A couple of times he's just whiffed, though. And just, like, slightly outgunned. And, what we're used to seeing from Electronic is nailing that first guy in 2 bullets. 2 bullets or less. And then the second guy, in the back is free. And then, maybe we get a 3K. That's the above 1.15 rating Electronic. That's the superstar Electronic. That's the Electronic Na'Vi need. And it's tough, man, to hold players to that standard, especially as riflers, where you're prone to take more damage. Off games can be amplified so heavily by slight misses. But we hold Electronic to that standard because he is one of the best CIS players of all time. And Simple said his best teammate of all time. Blast Overtime. You guys remember that? That show we did during Blast Fall Season after the stream was done. We had Simple on to make his Franken... How do I forget my own show idea? The Frank... What was the thing that I made? It was like a Frankenbrain teammate. Anyways, you had to pick the best attribute of all from one player from each team, pick their best attribute, and make the best teammate possible. And from Na'Vi, he picked Electronic for his communication, and he said Electronic's his best teammate of all time. Or sorry, that was Flamey, not Simple. I am drunk. I'm like, we never had Simple on Blast overtime. What the fuck am I talking about? So here's holding the cross. Don't know why he's quick switching so much, but we're getting a new look on outside. I'm not an enormous fan of angles like this, where you're kind of full body showing. You know, you've just got to be very fast and you have a small window of timing to hit your shot. The real value, I think, is that you have the ability to multi-frag because you can move from your spot really safely. It's just not huge for getting a big advantage on your first duel, I would say. Because someone could peek into you and on off timing when you're peeking back and forth and just get some spam damage and one bullet you. So, okay, we've got the good Molotov on the back. Pushes him off this fight, and config, like, knows that he has to stand there, basically. So, that one's basically handed to him. Alexi B talked about this. Molotov, you know, when people throw it here, it doesn't spread all the way back here. But the way config threw it to bounce off of this wall means that it covered all of this. So here's config swinging out on this angle this way, knowing that this is the only place that this player can peek. The only place. And he can clear this out one angle at a time, like this. It's so strong for config. It's no surprise that Electronic died there. The hard part for me is to make a guess as to whether or not config truly expected Electronic to be there, or if that's just one of the angles he clears in his pathing because of how people typically play around that Molotov. Every round, something new here from Electronic. A smoke that lands front red. But it's another upstairs take. And Electronic, I guess, looking to see if Blame had out-lurked him. In between fire and smoke, and his teammate bails him out, but he is already so low now. I want to guess that Electronic throws that smoke in case Complexity Molotov it. I'm not sure about this, but I'm assuming he throws the smoke here in case Complexity Molly, so that it looks like he's trying to smoke himself out, and then they spend time trying to clear him. And if he's over here, you know, maybe someone's shooting from here, he can get this kill, or just get some more information. That or make it look like a missed smoke for the same purpose. We're at 4 and 7. Electronic here 4 and 8. The majority of his kills came in those first few rounds. I think specifically on the third round. We look at this. They won the first 4. So he throws it again, trying to draw attention. You know, if I was top silo, this would draw my attention. It hasn't resulted in anything so far. I'm very curious if it will. That would be awesome to find out. If the bait works. If the lure is effective. If it's tasty enough. Okay, so one spotted control side, Electronic and co coming through. They've got a teammate on the ramp as well. They're trying to coordinate the party details to make sure nobody shows up late. And they've got information on one. Dark gets Molotov'd out. Teammate gun out, and one of them serves as a bait, but the trades come in, and Poison's able to get his kill on ramp as well. In terms of protocols, everything seemed just fine. Poison should not be winning his duel on ramp with a deagle, body spam, and they went 1-for-1 on the other player in the site. So should have been round done, but complexity. They pull a wabbit out of the hat. All right, back to secret this time around. Have you guys ever seen Alone? It's like the show where they send everybody out and then like into different parts of like harsh environments, and they have to fend for themselves, and they give them their own recording equipment. Oh man. And this is relevant. And basically, you know, if they stay out there in like the Arctic for 100 days by themselves, losing their minds, trying to find food, then they get $1 million. If you ever watched the full season of that show, you know, around like day 50 is when you just start to feel terrible for them. And it feels like that's what we're getting from this demo right now. Like, you start off so positive, optimistic. You get the 2K on the first rifle round. Your team starts off 4-0. You're like, I'm having a good day. And then you start to lose a trade narrowly here and there. Important rifle round goes, lose a clutch. Everything starts to go awry, but you still got an entire half left to play. And now you've got to bring it back on the T side, considering the other team has a 9-4 half. And Electronic, terrified of getting outlurked again. Simple's got his back. More than a few times, Simple has covered Electronic so well in this half. The Molotov and Mini, an op shot here or there. Simple likes this guy, you can tell. Oh man, I think this is the moment on the stream where everyone presses tab, and they look at his score and they go, "Electronic, he just can't hit a shot today," or something in British. It's a I did an impersonation of a British commentator. I don't think that guy specifically exists, but I tried to do the common denominator voice amongst all of them. Electronic, he can't hit a damn thing. I'm so sorry if you're from the UK and you had to listen to that. I think the worst part is it's probably like my best impression. That was rough. You know, it's like another free one. He picks the right time to peek out. Guy has a friggin' fire bottle in his hand. Trying to Molotov into control room. Electronic swings into him. Can't get the frag. So much hinges on just those moments. He's got the FAMAS, but he's very careful with it. It feels like his spray is off more than anything else. I think we all do that, where games sometimes where our spray is off, but we still spray too much. Spend an hour deathmatching your one taps only to crouch spray 30 bullets every single fight in the match. Don't tell me he 3Ks. Oh boy. Poison wood. That was wicked. That second shot was too hot. There needed to be a swing from Electronic to trade while he was on ops on cycle. You know, an op should not be able to get a 3K with 3 players in that proximity. So I think, you know, maybe his confidence is not all there anymore. We're all human, and if these were task robots, every round would be a brand new round. But unfortunately, we're humans. We carry baggage. We can't help but think about our past mistakes, this narrative that we're supposed to be, that we are having a bad game and that's not going to change. We're prone to it. Of course, not the champion mindset, something that everyone needs to work on, but come on, let's be honest. If everyone could do that, then sports wouldn't be interesting. Okay. Clean tap outside, and it seemed like the intention was to cross cross lower as a fake, or sorry, not as a fake. They're going to go join up lower via ramp, but they fail the entries. Nothing particularly wrong with the strategy, maybe, but complexity ready for it. And electronic dead. Electronic unplugged. Electronic is your iPhone on 3%. You want to do so much, but you're scared. I can't watch this clock save. I just can't. Oh, chill, chill, chill. Okay. Fast cross smokes outside. Mercenary electronic going in first. And they've crossed quickly. Plus they have vent control, so they don't have to worry about that rotate. We see him not worrying about all these different pre-fireable positions, kind of just skipping through the angles. Now they come in, establish, in control, and you know, we see the real value here. Once you're in control and you have decon, the only thing you have to worry about is ramp. When you look at the lower side and you think, wow, there's all these points of attack. But once you get down secret with vent control, like, it's way scarier for the CTs. They're the ones who have to fight from back, who have no place to fall back from. So now they're in a good spot, and they should obviously win this round. Back at the bomb site. Does he have a teammate covering him? Kind of. He's trusting Flamey. And it looks like it's a save coming in. Let's go ahead and skip forward. My question for you today is, what are the takeaways for you on this game? Is it that he's simply not hitting shots? To me, it looks like he's still playing smart, I want to say. I haven't seen too many really egregiously bad plays. It feels like this is one of those games that, like, his spray seems really off, and I've seen some opportunities. I would say I've seen at least 4 opportunities to get an easy kill that he missed. I would say easy to his standard, of course, not to my standard. But maybe you see it differently. So let me know what you think. That flash really useful. It didn't miss. It blinds down the stairs here on the control stairs, as you can see. And it's really hard to see. Electronic posted up like cement. Hold position. Let's round up. So team, no mini flank this time. Take upstairs. You're good. Sometimes you can have impact just by existing. Okay? Chat, I want you to know that. You matter. In every round you play, you matter. There's that flash again. Thank God he threw it, so I don't have to go and try to skip back around to show you guys. On this T side, it feels like he's being treated as like these, he's like an NPC in Metal Gear Solid, just patrolling back and forth, waiting for Snake to come up behind him and strangle him. He's just the dude on duty downstairs at the nuclear silo, But it's because complexity are simply not fighting. It's a very mixed buy, and it's all vents here for the CTs, but they're starting to get mowed down. Let's just assume that the Navi go ahead and win this round. Okay. And let's get into the next one. So listen, he's only got 5 kills, but did he do anything wrong in these past 3 rounds? No. He just didn't have any fights. Made a lot of ground. There's just no fights, really. You know, when we contextualize wins like losses a lot of the times, you're going to have sympathy for these players. Is what I've noticed. For a multitude of reasons. Like, sometimes a 20-kill game could be, you know, holding the right choke point on the anti-ecos, getting a spray down on 3 kills on 3 anti-ecos, and it's only that's half your kills. Those aren't really impressive. They're not hugely impactful, but they beef the numbers up. But bad scores can look worse when you have a combination of a few rounds where things go wrong, plus you don't get lucky on those anti-ecos. It's not as sexy of an answer, but apparently he still got it. A good little flick. The other day I talked about not bragging about your flicks. You know, it's like bragging about winning a scratch card. And I think that's still true. But of course, CS is a game about probabilities. And, you know, it's like never hitting a flick means you'll never be good. You'll never be good at the game. We all play on incomplete information. So the idea is just that you want to have less flicks than you do good crosshair placement kills. Like that one. Like that one. Like that one should have been an easier frag for him. But it really feels like he's just messing up when it comes to the sprays. I actually feel, maybe I feel more sympathy for him because I feel like if I look at my demos right now, this is what I'm going to see in my games right now. Rough sprays holding me back. Or just spraying a bit too much. Three on 4. When I'm casting, I'm looking at the minimap like 60% of the round. Watching one perspective, whatever. But just looking at where people are on the minimap. Rotations are by far the most important part of the overarching strategy of a round. And they give you the most information on what a team is thinking. Almost goes without saying. But some people ask what to look for when they watch demos. I'm looking at perspective like 40% of the time, staring at the minimap like 60%. It's been relegated to the Deeg. But it's a print stream. Interesting how often Complexity have left this completely open to these secret walkouts. Really, I don't know what they're saying to each other, but really it feels like they should just be joining him down here more often. How does this even happen? Oh my god. Oof. He had one chance to get a kill. He couldn't get it, and Poison, you know, hit him through the wall as well. He should have died. But still, Secret's open, so looks like now Poison's going to be falling out. The bomb gets caught off. And everyone just dies around him. Even if he got this kill, they would have lost. Oh, maybe. You know, maybe it does change things if he gets the kill and then Config's not watching the outside cross anymore. But you'd think he'd be watching it even more intently if that happened. Because someone's lower. And here we are, the last round of the game. Wow, depressing demo review here. Watching somebody whiff for an entire half. Entire map. But I think it was kind of interesting. I think it was a really good idea to watch this. And that's it. I feel like that's a good way to go out, all things considered. Getting outplayed by Blame once again. Outpeaked. Electronic. Not a great performance by Electronic. To tack on to a decently bad period for him in the last few games. He's been up and down. He clearly is, you know, one of his last Nuke games here, 32 and 22, but it is versus Namiga, so 36, sorry. But he's playing it a lot, and generally speaking, it seems like partly because on T side he's got some spots that they appear to be just a bit more boring. He's not getting kills in the second half, combined with a bad spray, and on CT side, yeah, bad spray. CT side, he should have definitely gotten a lot more kills. Holy crap, he does not play well versus Complexity. He has, in his last 2 series versus Complexity, he hasn't had a game with more than 10 kills. Yeah, so that's changed. A very high average a while back. So that's it for today. 12:44 right now. This video will be done processing by around 2. And we'll be back for another daily upload tomorrow. What game should we watch? We're going to have an upload every day. Not every day of Cologne. Not every day that I'm streaming. Every single fucking day. Unless I'm literally not able to get to my PC, we're going to have an upload on this channel every single day. Ding the follow bell notification. Get the coffee ready. Come through. Watch a demo with me. And relearn this game with me. So we can all take a better interest in professional CS. This is a game that gives you more the more you pay attention to it. And following POV is one of the most interesting ways to learn the game. All right, see you tomorrow.